Hi, welcome to the next edition of Watching the Pioneer Meta. Today, we're going to be talking about, of course, the current trends, the past few weeks. Plus, we have 3 decks to talk about again, and hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of content. If you do, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification for future videos, comment down below. It helps with the algorithm. Share this video if you like, and let's get into this content. Starting off discussing about the current meta trends. So, slight shift down for demons, a little bit increase in bounce, but not really. A dip into girl prowess, which again, like standard, because I technically am recording this after their standard video. Looks like red deck wins takes up basically the meta percentages, even though this is +1 over this, but still, like, I mean, probably somewhere else where we can count that other 1%. Looks like if you count like Tucker Red and Soul, that's 1%. So it's not that hard to make up for that difference. But red deck wins is on the rise. Is it Phoenix stagnating around 6.4 to 7% tier 1? So we have our basically a 4-way tier up here. And also we have our control deck staying around the same number with Devotion. Incarnation's getting a little bit of traction again. Again, this is really good into demons. Potentially okay into bounce because you have so much ETB effects. You just got to watch out the fact that they might bounce your Bloody Incarnation, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. And aggro, I guess it's like staying around the same percentage point. So you have 5 plus 9. Yeah, so that's like 14% is aggro. So it's not terrible. We have a little bit of tempo down here with ninjas. Getting a little traction, but not really worth to talk about. Mardu Fang still in the uptick slightly. Same with Sack. Coco keeps dipping. It used to be all the way up here, but now it's all the way down here. Raja's Prowess staying around the same percentage points, around 2.25. Lotus Field has gained a little bit of traction. Couldn't really know, but not only 0.25% of you guys watch my videos. Because I literally said, I believe last week, I think this is actually really good into this current meta. I mean, as long as Prowess is on aggro is only like, 14% of the meta, should be able to eat the demon deck, should be able to eat the bounce deck, and the Phoenix matchup, and the control matchup, and potentially the devotion matchup, incarnation matchup. Like, Lotus Field should be able to just come in here and start wrecking some heydays in here. If you're a good pilot on it, of course. And Pixie, a little bit of uptick. Some people really are that desperate to bring this deck into the format when bounce has basically the depth that you need. You don't need a third color. But some people like to have that challenge, so I understand. We have a little bit of a downtick with the red and the Ensoul. And Zombies got a little bit of an uptick thanks to the new zombie from the new set. But yeah, that seems to be about it. Bar class staying around the same percentage. There's Domain Zer. So overall, I think this actually is pretty reasonable of a percentage. Like, everything seems to be very similar to standard, to be honest. When it comes to like everything being represented, there's not really a de facto best deck. Actually, I would say there's less of a de facto best deck in the format, unlike standard, which is just bounce, right? Like, everyone's kind of aware about that. Here, it's not necessarily guaranteed to be bounce. It's not really guaranteed to be Rakdos Demons. So, like, I feel like it's more open in Pioneer, and it allows you to play more janky brews if you really wanted to. Plus, you have the depth and cards to be able to actually be able to play a reasonably competitive janky deck, which is why I love Pioneer in general. It's like the old modern, where you actually get to play your jank and probably still kick some tail. So, I have 3 decks to talk about. None of them are really all that spicy per se, but they're not meta decks, so I want to highlight them. So let's get into those. So first up is Golgari Food. It picked up the new Dredger's Insight. That's about it. Still have Traverso Uvenwald. We have the cat. We have the big cat. So this is your combo. Plus talent helps you find the big cat. Oven works really well with the talent and the cat. We have a Varaska. Usually that's pretty stock in the actual deck. It's like one of either main or side. So it's always there. This deck plays Deadly Dispute as a way to just sack some stuff, draw some cards, get a treasure, ramp into your Yigra, which is really important. Has the best interaction with 4 fatal pushes in the main. 4 Thoughtseize plus a duress on the board. So if you want to cut the fatal pushes, you bring in the Thoughtseizes. You can probably cut something else and bring in the duress in those matchups. In a similar vein against aggro, you have your Abrupt Decays. You bring those in. Probably cutting very similar, probably the exact same card, potentially in both matchups. We have Leyline of the Void for Phoenix and Graveyard strategies. For Enchantment Hate and Flyer Hate, we have Patchwork, Paw Patch Formation, which is really decent. Plus, it makes a food, which arguably this is a food deck, so it works out quite well. That is Golgari Food. Pretty solid deck. Is it as good as Junsack? That's up you guys to decide. But if you want to, try something different than your Junsack, try this out. It's pretty decent. So next on my list is Esper Fang. Now, this deck plays less creatures than traditional Fang. It's only 4 Fang, plus a couple Kioras. This deck plays Monument to Endurance, plus some Tameful Indulgences. Nice way to trigger your discard effects. Brutality also helps with that, and your Faithful Mendings. Fill up your graveyard with, Sky Sovereign, Flagship, Parhelion. Pretty solid ways. You have Lockdown for Aggro Hate, Stubborn Denial to protect your Grease Fang. And then you have your Bitter Triumph for a little extra removal. A couple Fatal Pushes on the board for more removal. Dovin's Veto for control and combo. Silence for control and combo. And we have a Surge for mid-range. Thoughtseize for, control and combo. Hearse for Graveyard Hate. Lockdown for aggro. Ashiok for Graveyard Hate. Void Ring catch-all removal spell. Dream Trawler. A nice backup, I guess, WinCon. If you expect a lot of Graveyard Hate. Teferi also works really well with that, and so does Alinda. So you have some ways to bringing more stuff in. If you expect a lot of Graveyard Hate, you could honestly just cut your Parhelions. At least your other stuff is probably actually castable. So like Scott the Boat is pretty castable. So, and that actually works pretty well. So that is the second deck I had to talk about. The last deck is gonna be really sweet. Let's get into that one. So last but not least is Merfolk. It got the new Mind Spring Merfolk with Hexcatcher, Drowner, Scout, Biomancer, Kumunza, which I haven't. I've played a variant of Merfolk on the channel on a live stream. I don't have a full playset of this guy. I don't really have all the Merfolk, Mind Spring Merfolks. We have 3 Sentinels in Nameless City. Nice solid 3-drop. Coco, nice way to getting your Hexcatcher and other counter spells like Tidebinder. So that's pretty decent there. We have 4 Tidebinders in general. That's pretty decent. We have Unable to Scream for aggro, Gus for red, or Mono Green Devotion, Stroke for, mid-range control, Graveyard Hate covered with Hearse against mid-range, and Heavy Monster removal decks. We have Sanctuary. We can definitely trim like Biomancer and other 1-drops for those. Or you rather cast this than cast a little creature in those matchups. We have Tidebinder for more red and green matchups. So that is all I have to talk about for you guys today. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about these lists. Where do you think the current state of Pioneer is? I think it's actually really healthy right now. And hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.